Hello, welcome to EPG Pashala Spanish. My name is Nabil Ansari and I teach Spanish in the Center of Spanish, Portuguese, Italian and Latin American Studies in Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. We are in the paper entitled Spanish Grammar 1. In this module entitled ABC Empezamos, which means ABC, let's start, you are going to learn general introduction of Spanish language, and you are also going to learn about the Spanish alphabets and its pronunciation. But before that, we are just going to talk in general about Spanish speaking world and also about Spanish language. There are 21 Spanish speaking countries in the world. Spanish is the primary language spoken in each of these countries. Most of the Spanish speaking countries are in Latin America. Latin America is formed by North, Central and South American countries, and there are 16 Latin American Spanish speaking countries. The Caribbean is home to 2 Spanish speaking countries, and there are more than 450 million Spanish speakers who speak it as a native language. Now here you can see is a list of all these Spanish speaking countries. So in Africa we have Equatorial Guinea. In Caribbean we have Cuba, Dominican Republic. In Central America we have Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua and Panama. And in Europe, of course, we have Spain. In North America, we have Mexico. In South America, we have Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Paraguay, Peru, Uruguay, and we have Venezuela. So these are the Spanish speaking countries. Now let's talk about the languages of Spain. So in Spain, 4 different languages are spoken. These languages are Castilian or Spanish, Catalan, Galician and Basque. Now Castilian, Catalan and Galician are from Latin, and Basque language has an unknown origin, which means that the origin of Basque language is not known. Now let's see these languages in detail. So we'll start from the first one, that is Castilian, which is also known as Spanish language. It is one of the 4 official languages of Spain. Now there was a big discussion about whether the language should be called as Spanish or Castilian language. Nowadays, according to the Royal Academy of the Spanish language, it is better to call it Spanish language, although it is equally valid to call it Castilian. Now, when we call it as Spanish, it leaves no doubt that we are referring to the dominant language in Spain and Latin America. And when we call it Castilian, people may be confused with the Roman dialect that prevailed in the old region of Castile. So for this reason, generally we use the word Spanish. The second official language is Catalan. It is a Romance language like Castilian. Apart from Catalonia region, Catalan is the official language of the Balearic Islands and Valencia. It is also spoken in some regions of Aragon and Murcia, and outside of Spain in Andorra, and in the Italian city of Alghero in Sardinia. The third official language of Spain is Galician. Now, together with Castilian, it is the official language of Galicia. It is also spoken in the areas of Asturias and Leon. And the fourth and last is the Basque, also called Euskera. This is the only language of Spain which is not from Latin, and also its origin is not known. It is spoken in Basque region, Navarra, and south of France. Now you know the languages that are spoken in Spain. Let's start with the Castilian, which is also known as Spanish. Now, learning Spanish is easy. There are many Spanish alphabets which are similar to English language. After knowing the countries where Spanish is spoken and also the official languages of Spain, let's see if you can guess the meaning of the following Spanish words given below. Aeropuerto, metro, teléfono, diccionario español-inglés, restaurante. Now I hope this was not difficult, as you can guess the meaning of these Spanish words like metro, teléfono, restaurante, and the other two, aeropuerto y diccionario español-inglés. Now to start with, the easier part of learning Spanish on your own is that you don't have to struggle with a new script. It is very similar to English language, even though the pronunciation is different. So alphabets are quite similar with the English language. But as you must have already noticed in these words that I just mentioned, there are some new alphabets. For example, N in español, which means Spanish, and some new signs. For example, A with that sign in Inglés, which means English. Moreover, Spanish alphabets are pronounced differently, even though they seem that they are quite same as of English language. Now let's take the first step towards learning Spanish by looking at the Spanish alphabets. According to the Royal Academy of Spain, the Spanish alphabet, like other Romance languages, is based on the Latin alphabet and adapted throughout the centuries to what it is today and are 27 in numbers. The alphabets, that is CH as ch or double R and double L, are considered as digraphs, or which means groups of two letters and one sound. So in Spanish, now we have 27 alphabets. Now the capital letter in Spanish is called letra mayúscula. So if something is written in a capital letter, so the capital letter is letra mayúscula, and if it is written in small letter in Spanish, this is called letra minúscula. Now let's begin with the Spanish alphabets. So the Spanish alphabets are A, B, C, Ch, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, L, M, N, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now let's see once again the alphabets. A is A as in avión. B is B, B as in botella. C is pronounced as C, C as in casa. CH is pronounced as Che, Che as in chico. D is pronounced as De, De as in diccionario. E is pronounced as A as in elefante. F is pronounced as F as in flow. G is pronounced as G as in, or G as in guitarra. H is pronounced as H H as in helado. I is pronounced as E as in insecto. J is pronounced as Jota as in jirafa. K is pronounced as Ka as in koala. Double L is pronounced as Elie or Aye, which as in K is pronounced as Ka as in koala. L is pronounced as Ele as in lapis. Double L is pronounced as Elie or Aye as in Llaves. M is pronounced as Eme as in mariposa. N is pronounced as Ene as in naranja. Ene is not in English, but it is in Spanish. So the sign that you see here is pronounced as Ene as in España. O is pronounced as O as in oso. P is pronounced as P as in pan. Q is pronounced as Q as in queso. R is pronounced as R as in regalo. S is pronounced as S as in silla. T is pronounced as T as in teléfono. U is pronounced as U as in uvas. V is pronounced as Ue as in vela. W is pronounced as W as in wa. X is pronounced as X as in xilófono. Y is pronounced as Y as in yogur, and Z is pronounced as Zeta as in zapatos. So we have seen the pronunciation, the alphabets, and how these alphabets are read in Spanish. Now, as you are now familiar with the Spanish alphabets, let's start with its pronunciation. It is said that the pronunciation of Spanish words is quite easy as compared to other languages like French, German, etc. This is due to the fact that, with few exceptions, each letter represents a single sound, and by following simple rule, it can be easily pronounced. Now, each letter has a different name, like in English, ABC, in English language. So, in Spanish language also, we have seen that each letter has got its name. In the table given below, you will learn in detail how each letter is called and how it is pronounced, and you have some examples of each letters for practice as well. So the alphabet name over here, they have mentioned the first part, and then the alphabet, and then the pronunciation with examples. So the first one is A as pronounced as like father, A. Examples: alma or macho. Second one is B, that is B is pronounced as B as in bank. So banco, bien. Then se, the C is the pronunciation of this C can change. So when it comes before A or O or U, that is before these three vowels, it will be pronounced as like ka. So CA will be ka, CO will be ko, and CU will be ku. For example, Carmen, cola, Cuba, y crema. And when this C comes before the vowel E and I, it will be pronounced as se or C, like cell of English. For example, Centro, Barcelona, y cine. Same with this CHE, that is CH is pronounced as che. So CH is pronounced as che, like church of English or child. So examples with this CH is Chile, chica, macho. So che as in Chile, chica, macho. D is pronounced as de, like that, or that of English. So example, dinero, Nadal. So it will not be pronounced as doll of English, but it will be pronounced of a soft D, that is the, that of English. So dinero y Nadal. Same way, E is pronounced as A, like bet or set of English, A. So some examples in Spanish are Enrique or Rafael. F is pronounced as F, like fan of English, F. So in Spanish, examples Fernando or fiesta. Now the pronunciation of G is a bit, G has got various pronunciations. So G is known as G in Spanish. So when it comes before the vowels A, O or U, that is A, O or U, then it will be pronounced as go, G sound. For example, gas, golfo, gusto, iglesia, y gracias. But when it comes before the vowels E and I, it is strongly aspirated, like H. For example, gente, gimnasia, Argentina. H, which is pronounced as H, it is always silent and it will not be pronounced at all. It will not be pronounced at all. So H in Spanish is known as H and it will be silent. For example, hotel, hola, ahora. I is pronounced as E. For example, Enrique Iglesias. J is called Jota and it is pronounced a bit strongly aspirated H. For example, like H. So examples in Spanish are jardín, ajo, Juan. K is Ka in Spanish and it is only found in foreign words and pronounced like K in kilo. For example, kilómetro. L is L, for example, Latino or Lorca. Double L is A, for example, calle or llamar. M is M, like mother or money, and words with M in Spanish are madre or Mercosur. N is N, like for example, nachos or Neruda. NA, that is N with the sign, is pronounced as NA, and the examples are España or Niño. O remains O in Spanish also and pronounced as in English like comercio or ojo. P is P as plaza or español. Q is Q and it's pronounced like U, that is Marquez or Quito. R is R, like Fernando Torres or Rafael. S is S, like sopa or español. So S will be pronounced as in English we have words like sin or sun. So that is the pronunciation, or will be the sound of S in Spanish as well, like sopa or español. T is soft. T is te in Spanish and it is pronounced softly, unlike in English. For example, it is turismo, t sound and not t sound. So it will be turismo or patata. So t sound is the T. U is pronounced as U. For example, Unión Europea. V is Ue. For example, vino or beer. W is Ue doble. Now it is found only in foreign words and pronounced like W in water. For example, whiskey or Washington. X is X. For example, examen. Y is Y. For example, yate, Yolanda, soy, y rey. And Z is seta, again like sin of English, and not z sound. It will be s sound, like zapato or zorro. It will not be zapato, but zapato or zorro. So let's see the Spanish alphabets once again. These are A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, y Z. Now let's listen to some more Spanish words to understand better the pronunciation of the same. For the alphabet A, so with this alphabet we have words like amar or árbol. B, like biblioteca, Bilbao or bobo. C is camarero, coche, y Cuba. So remember, when this C comes before the vowel A, O and U, it is pronounced as Ka. So camarero, coche and Cuba. But when it comes before the vowel E and I, it is pronounced as Se. So cesta y cita. But when there are two say, that is C, in one word, then it will be pronounced as lección. Che, that as in Chile, chocolate, chorizo. De, as in diccionario, hada, Madrid. So this D is not like in English the, but it is soft one, that is the. So diccionario, hada, Madrid. E is A, as in España, feria, edad. F is F, as in football, fiesta, alfabeto. G is G, as in gente or gitano. But when this G comes before the vowels A, O and U, it is pronounced as G. For example, G-A-M-B-A will be gamba. Then G-O-M-A is goma or Guatemala. H, that is H. H is always silent in Spanish words. So even though we will write this alphabet, but while pronouncing it will remain silent. For example, it is not Honduras, but it is Honduras, and not ahora, but it is ahora, or hombre. Same way, I is E in Spanish, like India, inteligente or idea. J is J. J as in jardín, justo or rojo. After J is K. As mentioned earlier, there are no Spanish words with this letter. Only foreign words like kilometer, which will be kilometro, and kilo, which will be kilo, are written using this alphabet K. L is pronounced as L. So L as in lunes, literatura y televisión. So L is having the sound of L, that is in words like lunes, literatura or televisión. Double L is Elie. So as in Sevilla, lluvia, rollo. M is M, as in mono, mujer, programa. N is N, as in nuez, noche, ancho. N with this tilde is pronounced as Enie, as in niño, España, and albañil. So this one will be Enie. O is pronounced as, or O is said to be as in English O, as in ostra, cocina y gordo. Then comes P, P as in Pepe, problema, empuje. Then Q as in quemar, quitar, and quince. R as in pero. R in Spanish is R, as in pero, tres, cuatro, perro, Madrid, rosa. S is ese, as in soldado, sábado, crisis. T is te, soft. The pronunciation will be soft in Spanish, unlike in English, which is quite strong. So it is the of Hindi, that is te. So T will be te. So examples with te are té, tomate, ratón. U is pronounced as U, as in Uruguay, cultura y cuchara. V is pronounced as ue, ue as in vino, vaso y envase. W is W. Now, there are no original Spanish words with this letter, only foreign words are written using this, like Washington, etc. X is X. So examples like examen, excursión y mixto. So this, the sound that of this alphabet X of English will be like if you write K and S together. So for example, examen, excursión y mixto. Y is Y. For example, yerno, ayer y rey. So Y is called Y, and the sound of Y is like Y. So yerno, ayer and rey. And Z is zeta. So that is in Spanish is said as zeta. Now the pronunciation of this alphabet will be soft, unlike English. For example, the first one is not zumo, but it is sumo. So like in English we say sir, that is of the alphabet S. So the same pronunciation or the same sound will be produced in Spanish for this alphabet, that is zeta. So the first one is sumo, Zaragoza and cerveza. So it should not be zumo, Zaragoza or cerveza, but sumo, Zaragoza y cerveza. Now, like in English language, in Spanish also we have, or there are 5 vowels. Vowel is known as vocal in Spanish, and the Spanish vowels are same as in English. So English we have A, E, I, O, U, but in Spanish the same vowels are pronounced as A, A, E, O, U. So with the vowel A, examples are casa, taza or bata. With the vowel A, we have bebe, debe y leche. With the vowel E, we have cine, hijo, misa. With the vowel O, we have codo, modo y lloro. And with the vowel U, we have muro, punto y nube. So these were some words with these vowels. So I repeat, in Spanish also we have we have 5 vowels, and they in writing they are same as of English, but they will differ in their pronunciation. So the vowels in Spanish are pronounced as A, E, O, U. As you must have observed, Spanish is pronounced the way it is written. So once you know the pronunciation of these alphabets, so while you see them in writing, you just pronounce the way it is written. Each vowel represents only one sound, and many consonants sound quite similar to English language, like O remains O, and the sound of most of the alphabets are quite similar with that of English language. Now each consonant also represents one sound except for C and G. As we have seen, when C comes before the vowels A, O and U, it is pronounced as Ka, Ko and Ku, and when C comes with the vowel E and I, it sounds it will be pronounced as Se and Si. Same way, when G, that is in Spanish is He, comes before the vowel A, O and that is A, O and U, that is A, O and U, it will be pronounced as Ga, Go and Gu. But when this G, that is He, comes before the vowels E and I, it will be pronounced as He. So G was He and Gi was He. Now there are some exceptions to this. For example, the letter W, that is in Spanish is W, and X, that is X. Normally the pronunciation of the consonants is quite easy. The rules are followed. So we have seen that this W and X are pronounced a bit differently. Otherwise, if you pay attention to the pronunciation of all these alphabets, and if you know the rules of this pronunciation, then it is very easy to read and to pronounce all these in Spanish. So after having learned the Spanish alphabets, let's learn few words which are related with the use of Spanish alphabet. So the alphabet in Spanish is known as el alfabeto. And also you must have seen that there is a small line before the vowels at times. For example, as you can see here, A, E, I, O, U will have this one small line, and this is known as accent in Spanish. So this accent in Spanish will be said as el acento or el tilde. So this we don't have in English, so it is known as accent. This as you must have paid attention also that with the word España or español, this N has got this small sign. It is known as tilde or accent also, or you can say swung dash, but normally it is said as tilde or accent. Then there's two small dots above the alphabet U. So these two dots are known as diéresis, that is diéresis. So this will be we put this to maintain the sound of U with some alphabets that you will learn later on, but the sign is known as diéresis. And capital letter in Spanish, as I mentioned, is known as la letra mayúscula, and small letter is known as la letra minúscula. Now, what have you learned in this module? This module you have learned in general about Spanish language, that is in the countries where this is spoken, and you have also learned the number of languages spoken in Spain apart from the official language of Spain. You have also learned the Spanish alphabets and its pronunciations and some Spanish vocabulary related to the Spanish alphabets. Now, it is necessary that you go back to the e-text and you see the other information given regarding the Spanish alphabets, and also the e-text will have some exercises with which you can practice whatever you have learned. And apart from these, the e-text will also have some links which you can use for learning more about the Spanish alphabets and also about Spanish language in general. Thank you.